Hi, this is a presentation about dashboard Lightning components. Now, the newest release of Salesforce has come up with Lightning App Builder. It lets you create applications really quickly by dragging and dropping components onto a canvas. Now, out of the box, there are quite a few Lightning components. However, they're quite siloed. They don't communicate with each other, and it's rather hard to build a dashboard application with what is provided out of the box. The purpose of this package is to be able to is to is for the users to be able to create Lightning dashboard applications pretty quickly. Now this is pretty easy. You install it via a unmanaged package, or you can go down to the GitHub page, which contains all the source code. Once you're in the GitHub page, you can clone the repository and load it into your own org. Now, the other way to install is via an unmanaged package, which is also provided. The unmanaged package needs to be installed into the org, and you will then have access to these components. So now, once you have installed this particular application, you need to go into Lightning App Builder to be able to use these components. Now I'm going to go to a sample instance that I have. I'm going to go to the search menu and search for Lightning App Builder, the new feature. I'm going to create a new Lightning app. I'm going to select the two columns, two regions app. Two regions template. For the label, I'm just going to call this test app, rather imaginative name, and click on finish. Now this takes me to the phone view. I'm going to quickly switch to the tablet view, which is a little easier to work with. Now, out of the box, you can see there are a bunch of components, and like I mentioned, these components usually don't talk to each other. Now, these are the custom components which will be installed once you install the managed package or you upload the package through Ant. So the first component which I'm going to talk about is the search list component. So the search list component simply needs to be dragged on to the canvas, and you get a easy to use search list here. Now one thing to be noted is, along with this component, every other component in this particular pack is completely configurable. So you can see in the properties list that I am looking at the object account, and the primary field that I'm going to be showing is the account name, and this is also the field that I'm going to be searching on. I already have a secondary field which I can show. Now instead of site, I want to show, let's say, phone number, so I can change that property anytime that I want. And if you can see in the preview, the phone number is showing up, right? So let's just quickly test this app. So let me just save and activate. So this hopefully should make the app visible in Salesforce 1. So once I've activated, I'm going to quickly go to Salesforce 1. I'm going to reload so that it picks up the new application. I'm going to go to the app menu, and I see my test app there. I'm going to click on the test app, and here I see my component. So this component quickly allows me to search for a particular account, and I could change the object and make it search for any object I want, including custom objects. So once I click on an account, it also shows me the show details pop-up. Show details button. When I click on the show details button, it'll actually go into Salesforce 1 and navigate me to the details page for that particular account in this case. Then let's add a few more components so that you can see how easy it is. to use this application and add components. Right. I'm going to quickly go back to Lightning App Builder, and I'm going to add a few more components. Right. I'm going to add a component called the related list summary. Now this component, it shows a list of related objects to the primary component, which is on the search list, and it would show you a count of the number of objects in each of these buckets. The second thing I'm going to drag and drop is the object card. And the object card is really a list of fields of that particular selected account that you want to show. And then I'm going to drop a third component called the simple chart component. I'll show you how that works as well. I think that got dropped. Just going to do it again. Yes, it got dropped. And this again is a charting component. I can give it a title. I can select the type of graph. Let me quickly change that to a donut chart. I can select an object which to query on. I can select, so if I'm using account, I want to select on the account ID on opportunity. I can select the name of the field which I want to group on, the field to which to aggregate on, and the aggregate function. Right, so I'm going to quickly save this and let's see how our app looks now. Refresh Salesforce 1. And I'm going to quickly select a particular object, right? And if you can see, let me actually select one which has some opportunities. Let me just quickly see. Okay, so for example, this one has opportunities. Search for one which has a little more. All right, so this particular component, account has a bunch of opportunities. So you can see the simple chart component. It shows the chart values. It shows a donut chart and shows the list of opportunities by stages. It also, this is the child object summary or the related list summary component, which shows you a list of the related lists and also the counts. So I can click on, for example, cases, and that would actually take me to the cases details where I could see each case. I could click on this and now go to a case. So these components, if you see, communicate with each other. So as I click on an account, it actually changes the whole view to reflect the details of that account. So I can see, excuse me, here the account number, the account description, the account phone, the website, etc. And one thing to be noted here is that all these links are smartly clickable. So for example, this is a phone link, and if I was on my phone, on my tablet, I could actually click on this link and it would start calling the number. I could click on this website name and it would take me to that and open it in Safari or Chrome. Additionally, if it was an email address, it would open my email client and start typing in a message. So the object card component is a smart component, which it automatically detects the type of the field and accordingly creates smart links if possible. So these are 4 components. Let me show you some more. So I'll remove some of these. So let me remove the charting component. Oh well, let me first show you how to configure the charting component. Let's say instead of opportunities, I actually wanted to see cases, right? So I could just change the object to case, and maybe I want to see status by count. So let me just save this quickly and refresh. Hopefully we should be able to see a list of cases and the count. So you can see 28.6% are in new and 71.4% are in closed. So it's really easy to configure these components to make it do whatever you want. And these are by using the Lightning App Builder properties. All right, so let me remove some of these components and add some more to show you some of the other components. Let me show you the attachment related components first. So there is the attachment list component, signature pad component. Quickly save that, show you how these work. Well, actually, let me move this to the bottom. All right, so let me quickly save this and show you how it looks. Let me refresh. And let me select a particular account. So here you see I've got a bunch of new components on the screen. So I've got the signature component, the attachment component, all right? So the signature component allows me to sign um, and ask the user to sign a particular signature on the screen so the user can sign. Once I click upload, the signature is automatically uploaded to the attachments of that account. If I hit upload, you'll see that the attachment components refreshes. So this is another example of components talking to each other. So the attachment component refreshes and you can see a signature attached. If I click on the signature, I'll be able to see the signature which I added. So you know, components talk to each other. So one component tells the other to refresh when there are changes. Similarly, if I had added the attachments to the object summary, that would refresh as well. Now, an interesting thing about the attachment components is that I can delete attachments directly from here. I can upload a new attachment, and if I'm on a phone or a tablet, if I hit upload image, it would open up the camera and let me take an image to upload. All right, let me quickly jump on to some of the last few components. So the next component which I like to show is the hierarchy visualizer component. So this particular component can be dragged and dropped. And what it allows you to do is visualize a hierarchy. Now, you can configure it to visualize a hierarchy of any object. Currently, it's looking at account and using the parent ID field, but you could ask it to visualize a custom object or contact or whatever else you would want. I'm going to quickly hit save and refresh. Let me just try to refresh it again. Sometimes it does get stuck. All right, so I'm in Salesforce 1 again, and I want to visualize a hierarchy, right? So I can select an account first. And when I do select an account, it shows me the entire account hierarchy. Now I can pan this, I can do pinch to zoom if I'm on in this case a Mac, but I could do this on a phone. So I can pinch to zoom. I can also click on a particular account to center it and also collapse it. And if you see, this is another example uh, of components talking to each other. So when I click on a component, it'll also search for that component and show that component up. So you know, each component interacts with each other. Now the hierarchy component will also show you exactly where in the hierarchy this particular account lies. So I'm currently on Acme UK, and it shows me that account as highlighted. I can pan that, center that, so it becomes easier to view larger hierarchies. So this was a basic presentation on how to create dashboards with this particular application. It's very easy to create more complex dashboards by combining some of these components. Thank you.